Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Miniature City. It's so cool. I've done a little bit of work off camera. I've just finished off the south end, or like the city part of the road layout, including, you know, where the primary school is all the way up to the hospital. This little wiggly bit of road that doesn't lead to anything at the moment, but I want to lead to a racetrack, I think, eventually. And I was just double checking some scales compared to our full scale city. Things like this port in the full scale world ends in line with that road. And would you believe it, in our miniature city, it's on the dot as well. So it's exactly in line, just like it is in the full scale city. That is usually a really good sign that everything else is perfect. You know, when you get those kind of little lines set up, you can't really get any better. The only road that we're missing is, like I mentioned, the one that fits between the police station and the Pigs Hotel. But if we moved everything over, it makes the entire island one block wider, and that just isn't gonna work. Ooh, weather. So what we need to do now is just sort of go up the mountain a little bit to the observatory and up to the mountain, which sort of starts about there, and wiggle it up and work on the airport and stuff like that. Now, there is something that we might want to consider. Grass is a full block, and our wiggly road that goes up the mountain is going to go up in half slab jumps. So I think what would be best would be to actually retexture a block that is also a slab, like purpur, for example. Retexture purpur to look like grass, but maybe grass on all four sides so you don't get the dirt look. And then we can also sort of layer up the dirt to suit the road instead of going up in full block jumps. So where does this road start? Well, this road that goes to the airport starts pretty much bang in between this road, and it's just to the left a little bit. So we're going to change this one to a T-junction, where it's going to instantly, well, we probably shouldn't instantly go into a curve yet. No, we should just go in one block and then go into a curve. So it goes like this. Now, we could wiggle every other block, or we could wiggle every single block. If we wiggle every single block, we don't get any grass in between it, which I don't think I want. But if we wiggle every other block, is it going to look too long? Do you know what I mean? Like a wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. No, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. Let's try every. Oh, and then we do have the problem of the corners. Any corners, any turns, have to be full blocks because they're logs, and you can't get non log slabs, or log slabs, if you know what I mean. So this one has to face that way. And what way is it? That way? Nope, it's the other log. There we go. It's a little... Oh, no, and I want it with one block between, don't we? So that's how that would go. And then we can get like little grass slabs to hide a little bit of that. We're always going to be able to see the sides of some blocks. The side of the log we can completely diminish. Totally, but these ones we just can't. We got around it with the highway by putting a cobblestone wall around the side, which really worked because it actually, I didn't think of it, but you guys sort of thought of it. It allows us to do this for the edges of the bridge. Now, that's a super nice sort of surprise. Oh, iron bar would probably be better. That is a super nice surprise. Again, everything's limited in this micro city, but that's not bad. We could even, maybe it would be best to use full blocks, maybe not gravel, like just a andesite for the moment, so they actually join up. It's still not in the way of the road, but now the cobblestone wall, iron bars, sorry, join up, and then have cobblestone walls underneath it. Now, I think in our... I can't put that one there. I think in our full-size city, the pillars for this bridge are in the middle instead of like one on either side. There's just one down the middle. However, I think in this micro city, it's best for us to put the pillars where we can fit them. Obviously, this being 2 or 4 blocks technically wide means that we don't have a middle point. We can't put anything in a middle point because it's an even number. However, that looks pretty good. That's a tiny little bit of detail there for the full-size bridge. I'm actually quite pleased about that. What if we also, on this side and this side? I think that looks so much better. That's so cool. I don't think we're going to be able to do it with the red bridge that we have down there, the small one. But that's okay. Now, this is actually lining up about right, because if you look on the image, which hopefully I'll remember to put up on screen. If you look at the image, this road, the second wiggle, so it comes up, it goes to the left, it goes to the U turn, and it comes back this way. If you look on the image, this actually ends up being in line with the 3 houses that we have in the housing district right here. And strangely enough, even in our micro city, it's also in line. So I think leaving the 1 block gap between is pretty perfect. Do you know what I mean? To have the grass in between. I think it lines up really, really well. This does, though, curve a little bit before the original one. So we want to have this one. Got to find the right one. Not that one. It's always the last one. There's four possibilities that it could ever be. Oh, I probably want it to go up a block as well, don't we? Because we want to get this mountain as tall as we can, pretty much as fast as we can. That one. That one. Yeah, we're trying to really push the height up, and each turn we basically need to go up by a full block. So it's either that or that. I think I like that the best, because then it matches the one below, yeah. And then we need to do one more turn, which ends up being at the... Ooh, that one, that one, that one. There we go. Which ends up being at the observatory. So we want to come up by half a slab. Always use the wrong one. I will get used to it. I guarantee you. I will be flawless at this one day. So this comes up again in our same, 2 slab, then 2 block thing. Where we have our corner. And also a T-junction here. There. For the observatory. So I'm just going to, for the moment, put one little block like that, because that goes to the car park where the observatory is. And then this does one more curve. In fact, I should just be able to grab whatever that one is. Okay, it's that one. Yeah, that's an easy way to do it. This is now flat all the way along here. This is a flat area which I don't know what we were putting here. I think originally it was going to be a prison. Well, that was either on this side or on the other side. But then we ended up making an Alcatraz-style prison on the full-scale city, which means that there's no point in having another one, is there? So we need to find something for that. Now, this does go up a slight little bit to the last sort of height point that this city gets to, road-wise, which is the airport. So I think we need to come up 2 slabs, and then 2 more blocks. You always got to finish on blocks because of any corners and stuff, and like buildings and stuff that are going to go on top of that. So it sort of comes in there. We have a little bit of a mountain area. I'm just going to use full blocks for the moment as like a test. We have this as a flat area where the building can be. Then there's a little bit of an incline. I could probably get away with having this part down here as well. Maybe like that. No, I think I like it like that. Where we're now at the main height. This is where the car park then starts. And the car park is set about 2 blocks back. In our scale, at least. So I don't think I need that block there. I think this is now all car park if I like just use a grey block for the moment for what I imagine to be the car park for the airport. Would be something like that. That would be about the scale of the car park. Maybe another third one, actually. I think that's better. So there's the car park area. Then it goes into the airport terminal, the extra buildings that come around the side, and then the runway and stuff like that. I've got another one to do, another wiggle to go up here, which actually end up going through the mountain. I shall also work... No, I'll come back with you to work on the mountain. It's not that big of an area. The mountain isn't that big. That's never been said before. The mountain isn't that big to come back because we need a tunnel that actually goes through. I don't know if we're going to be able to do a tunnel, though. I shall be back. Okay, I've got the other wiggle in that goes to approximately where the entrance to the tunnel would be. But I think we want to start with the mountain now. So we're going to have... This is like the very front of where the incline starts. And then it also drops out around here to the Amanda Hotel. It gets right up to the Amanda Hotel. So about there would be right. Remember, we will likely be taking away some of these and replacing them with slabs. When we get a grass slab, we could do it today if we wanted to. If we have time, we will. But for the moment, there isn't too much point. We're just sort of getting the design and the shape in first. So we definitely want those there and those like that. We definitely want those there and those there. We're going to put in the ones that we know for certain need to go in certain places first. And then we sort of go from there. It's tricky. This, I'm not going to lie to you. This is, for me, I'm going to find actually quite difficult to do. It's not a scale that I'm used to building in. I'm certainly used to be building in a lot larger scales in Minecraft. Certainly not one block high. But I'm so excited to see what this looks like. Just as an experiment more than anything, an experiment to see what will this look like at the end? A complete miniature city. Is it gonna look like a bunch of single blocks, or is it gonna look and have at least a small inkling that it's a city? Is it gonna look like a city when it's finished? I think just with roads, just thanks to roads, you're probably gonna get a pretty good effect of a city look, but who knows? I might be completely wrong. Now this is the ZONOWOOD sign that goes along the front here. This is a tricky one because it's one block difference here. So, oh no, but there is an incline. This rain, man. Have we got like another rainy seed? We might have been unlucky with another rainy seed. It actually has a little bit of an incline here. I think even right next to the road. Yeah, so now it is in line. I haven't come across anything yet that's given me any idea that we're like out on something, like badly. So far, everything seems to be lining up exactly how you'd expect it to. Now, can I ask in the comments section? It's nothing too crazy, but can you tell me if putting a piece of string on top of a sapling will stop it from growing? Because if we put some saplings down, you know, for like around the ZONOWOOD side and stuff like that, to look like mini trees, and then they all grow, it's not going to be that much of a pain. It's not going to or it's not going to be that much of a problem, let's say. However, it is going to be a pain to break all the trees down to get the to get everything back again to how it should be. But will it stop it from growing? Can you do some research for me, those of you that want to, and let me know if it works or not. I hope it does. If it doesn't, is there anything that we can do to prevent trees from growing some saplings. I'm sure that there will be a way. I can only assume, though, that it's got something to do with the tick speed. Like setting the tick speed to a lower setting or something like that. Or to nil. You'd probably have to set it to nil. If there's no tick speed, suddenly nothing can run at all. Now, the airport, let's give us an idea. That's the car park. Would need 1 block of grass between this and the taxiway. I'm just going to use a block as a filler at the moment. Then we need another block between that and the runway, which will have 2 blocks wide. And then we want a block between that, at least 1. I'll probably go with 2. So this is the top furthest point of the entire island. I don't think it gets any wider than that. So you can see the entire island is from there to there. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. Now, we want to have... I should probably come back down to the bottom again now. Down here. And go behind. We go behind the hospital. Which will go here. The hospital's right there. That might be a little bit too far back, actually. We probably should be about here. And then it comes back forward again to this little wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then the island basically sort of sinks back slowly until it gets in line. It's sort of at a strange angle. I might need to make it a little bit bigger. It depends on where the snow part of it goes. I'm really unsure. I never actually come back to this part of the island. I never see this backside. The only time that I ever saw the backside was when we were doing the Alcatraz Island, and apart from that, I really haven't ever looked at it. Okay, so this is where this starts just sagging back by a couple of blocks, which looks to be about in line with that one, nearly. Let's try and get that a little bit more in line. I don't know how good that's going to be yet. That gives us a pretty good idea. Now, that's that flat section. This section is where the tunnel's going to be. I might just put a black block there. Obviously, I think building an actual tunnel, I think it'll be out of proportion, but I don't think it'll work that well. Obviously, if we use just 1 block high for the tunnel, that's the height of a building. Mind you, I suppose a tunnel can be about as high as a building, can't it? I suppose it could be. Now, the back of this island we want to make pretty sharp. The back of this island, it does have a very sharp back face. So we want to try and get that in order to get this all to line up as well, which looks like we've got perfectly. So that can go around here. That all lines up there. We want this one to continue around here. Like that. This is where the wind turbines go. And we want to come up to a final level of the airport level. Let's just fill all of this in with the grass. This is the airport level, and it's also the level that the road ends up at that comes through the tunnel. It ends up at about the same height. Probably 1 or 2 blocks different in the full scale. But obviously 1 or 2 blocks isn't even a pixel in our micro city here. Been reading the comments as well from last episode with like the really subtle ideas, like the small detailed sections of the build. I asked for like if you've got any really cool creative ideas for like the cranes and stuff like that. Some really cool ideas involving the plants, the tulips and stuff like that. Very good. It's a great suggestion because we're not going to use the flowers. If we put the flower down, it's going to look enormous. Absolutely crazy big. So yeah, we can't do that. we can't use them. So retexturing them is going to be perfect. Now, if we had that slab going down like that into a corner like that, into a slab like that. Wrong one. I need the other slab. That one. Did I just grab the same one? Are you joking me? That one. A slab like that. That goes through the tunnel. I think, you know, you probably could do it, to be fair. That one. Like, yeah, you could do it. That would be the tunnel. That would be the tunnel. And then it would come out there, which is about right. That doesn't need to be on that height, though. That needs to be down here. We do have a little bit of a cover-up on top of that. Well, I think this is actually a building for the airport, technically. That covers that part up. Yeah, it's the hangars that actually cover that part up. So I can leave that. Well, I'll do it like that, you know. It still looks like the tunnel that goes through. Then we have a little bit of a flat area here at the bottom of the ski lift. It's just a very small flat area. Really not much involved at all. But I think we can sort of extend that out, something like that. And this needs to come around the mountain. I'm going to do everything grass first, and then we'll finish off with adding the snow peak on the top. So I think I think this is all meant to be flat here anyway. We'll just put this all grass as like a completely flat top to it, and then add the snow part of the mountain on top of it. It gives us a nice flat base to work with as well, like we've got a second ground level. Well, I tell you what, I think you've actually seen enough for the moment. I'm going to finish off. There's a little bit more to do on this side, and a little bit to do on the back, and then the snow peak. And then we'll come back to actually make it into an island and cut away everything around it. That's what we'll do. I'll be back. Alright, oops, there we go. So we've got the snow mountain on top. I think it's about right. Sure, it needs a little bit of tweaking. But there's some good news. I think we are now past the, I'm going to call the boring part of any series. Any series that starts, especially a creative series. Every creative series that I've ever done has always had to have this sort of warm-up session, or this warm-up episodes. The preparation episodes to get everything set up in order for the rest of this series to be able to go smoothly without hiccups, without any other problems going on that I'd unforeseen due to bad planning. Well, I think that part is over of this series. I think we've got the island set up, we've got everything all built, all the plans laid out, and everything seems to be in scale, like compared to our full scale one. I can't see anything that's wrong, you know, that shouldn't be, and in the position or at the certain distance that it is. And that's so funny to see. So what I definitely want to do before the episode's up is actually sort of carve out the area around this. It only needs to be like, I don't know, 5 blocks or so wide. And I'm gonna forget about the private island and Alcatraz Island for the moment. We'll add those later on. And then I want to add some water to go around the side, because of course that's just going to make it look totally awesome, right? Now you want to leave 1 block flush at any parts that you've got as a mountain all the way to the ocean. Otherwise you're going to have this sort of 2-block incline at the beginning, and that's not going to look that good. So we're going to run around the edge here. In our full-scale city, as I'm sure you guys know, if you went around the edge of this mountain at just walking speed, it would probably take you about 10 minutes. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes, we'll say, to walk around that mountain there. It's the size, it's bigger than a biome, a natural biome is, for sure. Now, we have a little bit of a beached area around here, in that sort of shape. It's sort of a small one. And bang, that joins up nicely there, doesn't it? And then we want this to sort of come out. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because this part of the river comes out in a little bit of a bulge, and then it comes back quite urgently And then back round again. In this sort of weird shape. And then back up again. I think that's not bad. I think that we are way too far out here. So we're going to actually trim this back and come out here instead of back there. That's definitely got that close. I think we're still way out. I think I'm actually going to do it like that. So it comes in here. Then it loops around and comes out. And then it's going to come around here. I think that's a much better scale. For that little chunk of land that sort of comes out here. That even might be a little bit too big. What if we done that? I think that's perfect. I think that's absolutely perfect. This is the middle part. This isn't anything here. It's quite cool. You can even walk underneath the bridge. The scale, I'm so pleased with. I just hope that my texturing now for the buildings is good enough. If it's not, we're going to have like this great looking city, but with some terrible buildings on it. So I'm really hoping that I can pull something off here at least. I'm just going to add a little sort of edging around the port. I think it'll just look better. Just with like that, a little edge that goes around it. And the same down there. It probably won't be that colour. In fact, I highly doubt it'll be that colour. But it just gives you that... it hides up the edge of the roads, which was my main concern. Okay. Down the front of the beach here. All the way up to where the where the pier is going to be. And back round. We've just done a complete 360 of the island at walking speed. Can you believe it? Oh, that's looking so cool. Okay, let me square this off now and fill it with water. I'll come back to fill it with water with you. All right, now just finishing off here. This actually took quite a long time. Probably around 20 minutes because I don't have world edit, so I just can't go click, click, type, done. I've had to delete each block by hand, which is still a few thousand blocks, but certainly a million times faster than if you had to carve out an ocean full scale by hand. So what have we done so far? We have made the island, we have put down all of the roads, we have built mountains within 2 episodes, which is within an hour's worth of video, and including off-camera stuff, maybe 2 hours of, including all of the off-camera stuff. 2 hours, we've got a city plan, mountains, everything laid out, all of the roads, and the bridge, and the ocean, when full scale would take an awful lot longer. So how long is this series going to run for? How is this series going to actually work? Well, this series is going to go on for as long as we can until we catch up to the full-scale city series, which probably isn't going to take 80, 90 odd episodes that we've done on the full one. It's probably going to take, I don't know how many episodes it's going to take. Obviously, we need to make each house and skyscraper again, but sort of in Photoshop, and then put them into the world. So we might be able to do like 2 or 3 buildings and a video or something like that. And then once it's caught up, obviously we can't then keep on building. We don't know what we've built in the full scale city, so we're going to have to stop and leave it for a while, and then maybe every 10 episodes of this full scale series we then come back and we do all of the buildings that we've missed or that we've built now in the full scale city in our miniature ones. So this series will run all the way up until we've caught up, and then we'll run periodically when new buildings in the full scale video series are added. I think that's the best way to do it. What else? Oh yeah, I wanted to say about the texture pack that I've chosen, or a little bit more. What was it? Simply Sharp? Is that what it's called? Simply Sharp 32. Now I chose 32-bit because normal vanilla Minecraft blocks, like the wood, for example, in vanilla Minecraft, well, this is dirt, works in 16 by 16. So there's 16 pixels down and 16 pixels long in vanilla Minecraft. This texture pack, being 32 by 32-bit, means that we have twice as many pixels, therefore making each building twice as detailed. So this skyscraper, for example, you know, each building here is 2 by 2 pixels, which is, strangely enough, the size of a full-scale window in Minecraft. 2 blocks by 2 blocks. At least on this skyscraper, we had our windows 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Now we've just converted that into pixels. On a 16 by 16, that would be 1 pixel. And you wouldn't be able to get at least a little bit of depth and shading that I've got on this 32 by 32-bit. So there's definitely some advantage going more. Now you could go crazy and go all the way up to a 64 by 64, or 128 by 128, or even 256 by 256 if you wanted. I don't think that it's really necessary for us. I mean, we could, if we ever find ourselves too limited, then sure, I can upgrade the texture pack to a 256 by 256. But remember, that is going to put more strain on your computer, depending on what computer that you have. So the more detail that you have, the more strenuous it's going to be for it. So bear that in mind. Anyway, just finishing off here. I can't wait. I haven't backed off and seen what this looks like yet. But my hopes are really high, man. I want to see like a beautiful island. I think all of that is now solid water. Oops. And then, nope. That's the one. There is ZONOWOOD in miniature. Now we can extend the water further if we wanted. Obviously, we've got the private island off the coast here. It's not actually that far off the coast. It's about there where the private island is. The cruise ship out the front, the cargo ship there, and then Alcatraz Island is about there. So I could extend the ocean out further if we wanted to, but for the moment, this gives us a beautiful representation on the scale and size of our island here. I think it looks so cool. That's all I got time for, though, this episode. If you enjoyed it, we've done so much this episode. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.